First, cut your fabric into an 8-inch square. It helps to use a rotary mat, ruler, and a rotary cutter to get straight edges. Repeat the process with your lining material. Cut two 4.5 by 2-inch rectangles. This will serve as the casing for the ties of your mask. Don't forget to think about the orientation of your print. Now you should have 4 pieces cut out, 2 squares for the mask front and lining, and 2 rectangles for the casing. Serge the top and bottom edges of the mask front and mask lining. If you do not have a serger, you can also use pinking shears or the zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. Place your mask front and lining right sides together and rotate it so the bottom edge is on the top. Use a sewing gauge to measure and pin 2.5 inches from the side edges. You will be sewing this bottom edge, leaving a 3-inch gap in the middle. The gap will serve as an opening for your filter pocket. Don't forget to backstitch once you get to the opening of the pocket. Now that your bottom edge is sewn, press the seam open. Place a pin on both ends of your filter pocket. Top stitch around the pocket opening. Now that you have made your filter pocket, place the mask front with the mask lining right sides together and pin. Sew across the whole top edge. Measure out a 5-inch piece of floral wire and cut with a wire cutter. Bend both ends of the wire into a loop to prevent the wire from poking through the fabric. Straighten it as much as you can. Flip the mask right side out and press the seams. Place a pin 1.5 inches from the left top edge of your mask. Sandwich the wire between the middle folds and pin into place. Place the final pin 1.5 inches from the right edge to secure the wire in place. Sew along the pin lines. Pin the bottom edge and top stitch right next to the opening of your filter pocket. Once you reach the filter pocket, back stitch over the stitching you made earlier. Repeat this process at the other end of the filter pocket. Sew around the wire to form a casing. Make sure to back stitch at the beginning and end. Ta-da! Your nose wire is in place. Time for pleats. Fold over the top edge of your mask 1 1/4 inches. Press this fold into place. Fold it over 1/2 inch using your sewing gauge to ensure both sides are even. Press in place. You have just completed your first pleat. Now fold it back to the front, this time creating a 5/8 inch space. Press that fold into place. Again, flip the mask over and create a 1/2 inch pleat. You're a pleat pro by now. One last pleat, I promise. Repeat the last 2 steps. Fold your mask to the front, creating a 5/8 inch space. Press and flip over. Create one last 1/2 inch pleat. Admire your hard work for a second. Measure both sides of your mask to make sure they are even. One final press. Carefully pin the pleats into place on both sides of your mask. You will be sewing them next. Sew the pleats into place, leaving the pins in until the last moment. You want to make sure the pleats don't shift as you're sewing. Repeat on the other side. Yay, we're getting closer. Now it's time to make the side casing. Fold the bottom edge of the rectangle and press. Pin it onto one side of the mask. Fold over the top edge to match the edge of the mask and press. Add a few more pins to secure the casing piece to the mask. Repeat the process on the other side. Make sure to pay attention to the orientation of the print. Next, you'll be sewing the casing into place. Sew using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, making sure to backstitch at the beginning and end. Repeat on the other side. Press the casing open on each side. Flip the mask over. Fold the casing in twice to encase the raw edge. Press and pin into place. Repeat on the other side. Next, we'll be top stitching them. This section is very thick, so you might have to go slow. Repeat on the other side. Now grab your t-shirt yarn and insert a safety pin into one end. Thread the yarn through the casing from the bottom of one side of the mask. Pull the yarn through. Now thread the yarn through the top opening of the other side of the mask. The t-shirt yarn is stretchy and comfortable enough to wear for hours. Remove the safety pin and knot both ends of the yarn. Now there you have it, an adjustable mask with a nose bridge wire, filter pocket, and pleats. Hooray, you did it! To wear your mask, place the top loop over your head and pull the mask down to cover your nose and mouth. Adjust the mask to fit by pulling on the bottom ties. Wrap the ties behind your neck and tie a bow to hold the mask in place. You want the fit to be snug so that the mask will not shift while you move or talk. Pinch the nose wire into place. Yay, you're ready to go! Thanks for watching. Happy crafting!